Hello everyone and welcome to the Up the Chels podcast with me, James Cundy, and alongside me is my very good Chelsea mate,
Kweku Afari.
How you doing, Kweku? You okay?
I'm not too bad, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. We got a really big show.
We have.
Really big one. Well, big podcast. A lot to talk about, okay? We got Lukaku scenario. We got Tammy. And we got the Super Cup final as well.
The Super Cup final.
How do you feel? Firstly, how do you feel about the Super Cup? Just quickly, just a little...
No, I actually don't. Not nervous. I'm about to lie there. Not nervous. I'm very, very confident. I think that we're going to...
Not a little bit nervous?
No, well, nervous because it's football coming back and it's our first meaningful game. But in terms of the result, I think it's not in doubt. I do believe we can get quite a comfortable win, and we haven't got any injuries, so we should be fine. What about you? What do you think?
No, I'm very confident.
Yeah.
Very, very confident.
Well, you're going to the game, mate.
I am going to the game, yeah. It was a bit last minute, so I'm flying there tomorrow.
I'm very envious.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It should be good. I've never been to Belfast.
Mate, it's going to be really good. It's going to be like a nice way to kick off the season because obviously there's a lot of pressure when it gets to like the first Premier League game and then everyone else is playing that weekend. We're the only team playing a meaningful game that day, so everyone's going to be watching. It's going to be a big game. And
it's true. It's a good one to get a bit of confidence as well, isn't it? You get that one, you just lift a trophy just before the start of the season.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
yeah,
it's a good little kick-off to the season. You know what I mean?
And our title rivals in Man City lost against Leicester on the weekend, so you know what I mean.
Nice
that'll give us some one-upmanship.
I really did enjoy that. Okay, well let's get into the bare bones of it then. I want to start off with talking about Tammy. It looks as though he's going to Roma. I think it's about 34 million. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Tammy leaving?
Obviously, it's a sad day to see one of the Cobham Cubs leave Chelsea. I know it's not gone through yet, but it's as good as done. But he's doing it for the good of his career, and I can't really begrudge him for that. No. I do feel like the move that Tomori made has set a precedent. I don't think that if Tomori hadn't have made that move to AC Milan, I don't think Tammy would be going to Roma.
He's done so well out there, hasn't he?
He has, and his stock has risen, and I think Tammy's looked at that. They're very good friends as well from the academy, and I feel like Tammy feels like he can go out to Italy and rejuvenate his career, just similar to what Romelu Lukaku did when he went to Inter Milan. So,
he's going to work with Jose Mourinho as well. Exactly. How do you think those two will get on? Do you think because Jose's got quite a good record of working with strikers, hasn't he?
I feel like if Tammy scores goals for Jose Mourinho will like him. Yeah. But if as soon as he starts struggling, then we'll see problems. But fingers crossed he does well, man, because I always want to see Chelsea players go and do well elsewhere. Because
when he first came to Chelsea, when he was brought in by Frank Lampard, he was given the number 9 shirt, and there's always talk about that horrific number 9 shirt. You know, you look back at the strikers Chelsea have had. Torres? Yeah. I mean, I love Torres when he was at Chelsea, but he didn't hit the ground running as much as we'd want to. Falcao, he was number 9, I swear.
Falcao was.
Was Shevchenko number 9?
I think Shevchenko might be number 7, but
he was number 7. You're right.
I think Morata was number 9, and then he changed to number 29. Yeah.
So I mean, there's just a history of that number 9 shirt that hasn't done as well as fans had hoped. But I thought Tammy, he did very well. I thought for Chelsea.
He did.
I felt a bit. I've said before, I felt a bit bad for him not giving
100%, mate. We look back with fondness, at like Tammy's first season under Lampard, where he was our top goal scorer. He was one of the top goal scorers in the league, and he had a very good season. He was in the England reckoning, and it just didn't go off the boil. But he just didn't do what we needed our striker to do, and it's good for him that he's making the move. It's good for us that we're getting that much money for a player that didn't really play last season, and hopefully both parties can go and be successful.
Well, that's what I want to actually talk about. I want to talk about one of the main subjects I want to talk about. We're going to go more into Super Cup, but I wanted to talk a little bit about MARINA GRANOVSKAIA. I believe that's how you pronounce her second name. I mean, she is probably the most powerful woman in football. She's like the Iron Lady of Chelsea Football Club. I mean, some of the deals that she pulls off for Chelsea are outstanding.
It's incredible. And for people who don't know, obviously, not Jose Mourinho, Roman Abramovich runs things at Chelsea. He's the head honcho. But MARINA runs things day to day. And she basically rules Chelsea, like I said, with an iron fist. And she goes and gets the best deals done. And we've seen the way that Chelsea have operated in recent years in the transfer market with ruthlessness and aggression and decisiveness. And
she's ruthless.
And it's all because of her. And the team that she built around her in terms of Petr Cech liaises, and he's the in-between between the players and the manager, or the players and the board. And then she obviously has the ear of Roman Abramovich. And we've seen in the business that we've done recently that we do get the best deals. So yeah, it's good that we're shouting her out because she is great.
I've got a list here, right, of the deals that she's done in the last year for Chelsea. I think I've done it before, but I'll do it again. So Tomori went for 25 million, Aguay 20 million, Giroud 1 million, Moses 4 million, Livramento 5 million, Simu 1.5, Lewis Bate 1.5. Ugbo, I think it's Ugbo, one of the two. He hasn't gone yet, but there's rumours about him leaving for about 5 million. And now Abraham going for 34 million.
Yeah.
That all totals to 97 million. And how much are we buying Lukaku for?
Yeah.
97 million.
She's incredible.
That's unbelievable.
In terms of the business that she's been able to do, and the biggest one there, I know he wasn't on that list, but is Eden Hazard.
Oh yeah.
And it's a double-edged sword of Eden Hazard, because he's a player that we obviously wished him well when he left Chelsea, but the fact that he's gone and he's been crocked essentially at Real Madrid, and we got that much money for a player who had 1 year left in his contract. It's absolutely crazy.
I know, for 1 year left in his contract and going for 130 million it was?
Yeah, insane.
I mean, and the same with Morata as well. I mean, when Morata was at Chelsea, it was probably, I don't want to sound too harsh, but he was probably one of the worst players I've ever seen wear a blue shirt.
Yeah.
And we sold him for 58 million.
Insane.
How do you do that?
Insane.
I don't know how she does it, but she is. I mean, I'm so glad that we've got her, and I'm so glad the team that she's built as well. You know, look at the players we've got now. We've got Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. Looks like we're going to get Lukaku now. We just got a great squad now, and you know, I've always been a little bit worried about the future of Chelsea, especially that transfer window in 2017.
Yeah,
but now you look at the squad.
Yeah. It's a formidable, and the way we've changed it around and flipped it around in a matter of years. Think about where we were in Lampard's first season, when no one gave us a prayer, no one gave us a hope of finishing in the top four. We had the core of our team were playing in the Championship in the form of Mason Mount, Fikayo Tomori, Tammy Abraham, Reece James. These were Championship players, and the fact that we are now one of the favourites to win the Premier League within 2 or 3 years is absolutely insane.
Such a turnaround, and now Champions of Europe as well.
Champions of Europe, which I just constantly forget. Like we're in the Super Cup.
I think about it every day.
Mate,
every day.
it's insane. Like the way the club is run, I feel so lucky to be a Chelsea fan. And like you say, Marina deserves her flowers because she's done an incredible job at the head of Chelsea.
Well, okay, let's talk more about being Champions of Europe. We've got the Super Cup tomorrow. You said you feel quite confident, and to be fair, I kind of understand why. I mean, have you seen with Villarreal's pre-season? They've played 6 games and they haven't won a single one yet.
See, that's mad. That's not a good way to start a season at all.
It's really not, actually. I mean, they played Valencia and they lost 3-2. They played Lyon and they drew. Played Levante and drew. Lost to Marseille. Lost to Leicester. And then they drew with Leeds as well. I mean, they're quite hard teams.
Yeah, there's tough pre-season. There's no real gimmies in there. They're all teams that are going to give you a test. And to start off your pre-season by not winning, or start off your season without winning the game, sure doesn't bode well for the rest of the season.
No, you wouldn't have thought so. But I mean, if you look at actually Chelsea's Super Cup finals we've had recently, we actually haven't done that well either.
No,
I mean,
we've got a poor record in Super Cups.
Pretty poor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've one out of 4.
Yeah, which is not good enough. I remember losses to Atletico Madrid.
That was a bad one.
That was a bad one. That was a bad one. I think we got ripped apart by Falcao, I believe it was.
Yeah, well, that's when he was in his prime.
That was when he was
like
the best striker in the world.
That was before his injury.
Yeah.
And then the Bayern Munich game where it went to. I felt we deserved to win that one though. Actually,
Lukaku missed the penalty. I believe.
Missed the penalty.
Yeah. So the redemption. It's a shame that he's not going to be in the squad for this game. But I remember that one. Remember the one where we lost to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Where Tammy missed the penalty.
I thought we played really well in that game.
We deserved to win that game. I think Mason Mount had a goal that was ruled off for offside in that game.
That's right.
And we did deserve to win that one.
I think Pulisic had one ruled out as well. I think we scored 2 offside goals.
It was one of those games where like we didn't have that nous in terms of just going out there and winning it. Liverpool was still riding the high of being Liverpool.
That's true.
And so we were always second favourites in that game. We put out like a good account for ourselves. But in this game, I'm very, very confident. I'm not impressed by Villarreal. Even in the Europa League last year that they won. The final against Manchester United was 0-0 all the way up until penalties, and then the game missed the penalty to give them the Europa League, and they beat Arsenal in semi-final. I'm just confident Chelsea are going to win this game.
Really? So what would your score prediction be then?
Oh, I'd say 3-1 Chelsea.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think we'll concede then? Yeah.
I think we might concede. It's a pre-season game. I think there will be changes, and I think like come half time there might be changes. We might even change the goalkeeper half time. Do you know what I mean? It'll be one of those games where it's just.
Do you think so? You think they'll do changes with goalkeepers as well?
Maybe not.
It's a weird one. It's sort of like a. It's like a pre-season game, but then it's a bit more than that. Do you know what I mean?
Because silverware, and the silverware that we haven't won that regularly, so it would be nice to pick that up and put that on the mantelpiece.
I've never actually seen us win the Super Cup.
So that's something that you want to see. And
I want to see us
do it. And that's something you're going to see tomorrow, James, when you're in Belfast watching Naspers lift up another trophy for Chelsea.
I loved his little trophy Champions League lift. I loved it. It was my favourite one.
It's incredible.
In the 2012 Champions League lift, do you remember how rubbish it was?
It was one of the worst of all time.
Like, you got Johnny McKell trying to grab onto it.
Kalu topless, just trying to grab onto it. You can't even see
John
it.
Terry and Lampard there together.
And so that's why it was really nice to see Azpilicueta lift it properly this year, and we're going to see more trophies lifted by Azpilicueta this season as well.
What ones are they? You said Premier League last week.
Premier League. I mean, let's not rule out the Champions League. Might go for the League Cup, if you're feeling, and then the Club World Cup in December as well. So we've got a lot of trophies to go for.
Oh God, we actually do. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Okay, so what would your lineup be then for tomorrow? Because it's a weird one, because you've got loads of people coming back from the Euros.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the English players who went all the way. I can't imagine Jorginho would start.
No.
I mean, same with him.
I know we've been playing some games behind closed doors. I feel like, okay, from 1 to 11, I'm going to go with Kepa in goal. I don't know why I feel like Kepa's going to play, but I just have a feeling Kepa might play. In terms of the formation, I'll go 3 at the back, because I feel like that's what we're going to play all the time. So Aspie, I believe, will get some minutes. So I think Aspie will start. I think Christensen might start, and then I believe this is just literally potluck. Rudiger, maybe. Yeah, Rudiger. Yeah, well, who's your back three?
I'd probably say similar. I'd go Mendy in goal. I think Mendy will do it. I'd say Aspie on the right.
Yeah,
I'd go back 3 as well. I'd go Aspie, I'd go Rudiger, and then in the middle, it's a weird one. I don't know whether I'd go Christensen or Zuma.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's for me, I'd go Christensen, because I think he's the better defender, but he's come back a little bit later, and Zuma's been there longer in pre-season, so I think Zuma will get the nod. I think so.
And also, it could potentially be a shop window for Zuma, who there's always been talks about, not always, but there's been talks about him possibly moving on. So, I don't know. It's a toss-up, really. We've got such a strong squad, and like I say, players returning at different times that it's so impossible to guess this lineup. But my back three would be Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger. Then right wing back, I want to say Reece, because I want to see Reece.
Yeah.
But it could be Callum, because Callum's been there.
He's had a decent pre-season.
He has, and
I feel
like Tuchel's had a lot of time to look at him as well in terms of pre-season. Him and Tammy were there super early, so they've had a lot of one-on-one time with Tuchel, which can only be a good thing, really. But I think I'm going to go with Reece.
Yeah.
Midfield.
What about the left? Who's on the left?
On the left,
it's a weird one, that.
Yeah. It's such a tough one. Who are you going?
I think Alonso. Personally, I mean, I would say Alonso, because I've seen him in pre-season. I've seen him there on the left.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Chilwell will.
But the thing is, Chilwell hasn't actually played any football.
That's true.
Since the back end of last season, because he didn't play in the Euros at all.
No, because Luke Shaw got ahead of him.
Yeah, and then he got pinged, not pinged by the app, but he got that thing with Billy Gilmore where he couldn't get selected. So he just didn't. He didn't play at all. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Chilwell, but probably will be Alonso.
Yeah. That's fair enough. I get why you'd see maybe potentially Reece.
Yeah.
Or Chilwell playing. I'd like those two to play personally.
Yeah, I would.
If it was up to me.
Yeah.
Those two cup final, and the midfield pair, who would you go for?
Again, I don't know. I saw N'Golo in pre-season and he looked great, so I'm going to say N'Golo again.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Cover. I think Georgie's come back probably the latest from because he won it obviously with Italy. So Young and Cover and Kante in midfield.
It's hard though, isn't it? It's hard to pick an 11 like this when you haven't seen too much of the pre-season training things.
Exactly.
And they haven't played in months since the Champions League final, so it's so hard to pick that team. But I would agree with you so far on those middle pairing. And then up front, Mount, does he play? Do you think Mount will play? Would he? He's in the squad.
Difficult.
I saw him smiling getting onto the plane.
I know. I hope Mason he'll get some minutes. I don't know if he'll start. I think Timo will start.
Yeah, I think Timo will start. I think it'll go Timo, Havertz, and then I'll put Ziyech in because he's had a decent pre-season as well. Yeah. I mean, those 2 goals against Spurs were
amazing.
I think that's kind of tipped it for me.
No, man, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, Timo, Havertz, and Ziyech. It's so difficult to pick this team just because, like you say, we don't know what stage these players are at. But the season's not too far away, so we do need to get minutes in the legs of our crucial players because they can't go into these games cold. So everyone will get minutes tomorrow. But in terms of starting lineup, it's anyone's pick. But I don't disagree with your front three: Havertz, Timo, and Hakim Ziyech.
And it's amazing. I mean, even Pulisic could be in there as well. Yeah. He's been back in pre-season. But I mean, we've spoken about it before. Chelsea's attack, so much depth. Even if you don't have Mount there, you've got Ziyech, and if you don't have Werner, you've got Pulisic, and then it looks like we're about to get Lukaku as well. I mean, it's just
on that. Do we need more strength in depth up top? Because we've let Giroud go already. Yes. We're about to let Tammy Abraham go, and we're bringing in a replacement in Romelu Lukaku. But that's just one replacement. I know that Michi's still there.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to get a sniff of the.
Surely not. He's not.
He's had his chance. He's not
good.
Out.
He's not good enough for Chelsea. I don't think at this stage of his career.
I don't personally. I can understand it. I'm not so sure actually. I think with the depth we've got, I think Havertz can do that role. I think he'll probably play tonight in that role. He did it, in the Champions League final. I think we can get away with it, and I think Lukaku will be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like, and even if let's say Havertz and Lukaku, God forbid, touch wood, both do end up being injured, you could even play Werner up front and then have Pulisic. So I think you can switch them around, but it's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the front line I'd like to have of Werner up top, but.
Yeah. But it's doable, and we won the European Cup with it last season. So we might be all right. We're out here pleading poverty with like one of the best squads in the whole of world football.
No,
so.
It's true. Okay, well let's wrap it up there. I think we've pretty much covered all of it.
We have, mate. Very excited.
Did we miss anything? Don't think we
didn't. Enjoy the game tomorrow, mate.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It's going to be a good one.
Nervous.
You're going to see us lift up the Super Cup for the first time in a while.
We will do it. What's the score prediction? You say 3-1.
3-1. What are you?
I'll go 2-0 Chels.
Oh, nice.
I'll go 2-0 Chels.
Nice.
All right, well, everyone, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Appreciate you tuning in. Please drop a like, subscribe to us, share it, do whatever you want with it. Let us know what you think, score predictions, all that.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and that's that. Well, thanks, guys, and speak to you guys soon.
Cheers. Up the Chels.
Up the Chels.